In today's video, me and 3 of my friends have 30 minutes to make the best plane animation in Blender we possibly can. Let's see who wins the golden prize at the end of the video. Alright, I have my plane loaded in here, and now I gotta start animating. But first, I'm gonna set up the skybox. So let me just insert that, and there we go. We got a functional skybox. So I think I'm gonna start it out of camera view. Maybe like back here and down. Move a little up like this. Have it come in kind of like this. And by the way, the area highlighted is what will be seen in the animation. Everything outside that's like darkened won't. So this is just from the camera's point of view. And also I'm gonna set the timer up and put it on the corner of the screen. Now that I've finished setting up the plane, it's time to start working on its animation. Okay, now that we got our first frame, I'm just gonna click on the plane. Now I'm gonna move it along the timeline and move this a bit down. And there we go. We got a bit of a keyframe. So this is still, we don't have enough frames yet. So let's add another frame, and thankfully, since this challenge we don't have to model, I can just move this thing along the timeline. So I think a frame like this would actually look pretty good. So it goes up, almost like this. And this is kind of slow right now, so maybe I'll speed it up a bit. Maybe let's do half the speed, or half the keyframe length. I'm just gonna go to frame 100 and move this guy out of the way, far over this way, down and up. I ended up tweaking a few things on the animation before deciding to move over to the background. I will say, I think we could use a bit of a ground. So I think I'm gonna add a city, and I actually have a model for this already. Now we can take this, move it down, and maybe, okay, actually we need to move it way up. But this is just to add a bit of effect to it. Perfect. After that, I went over to Sketchfab to go look for a cloud model, because for some reason I didn't like the effect enough. But when I did, just watch. That does not look like a cloud. Yep, I just wasted 2 minutes of time for nothing. That looks a lot more like glass than I thought. You can see me here trying to save it, but if you know anything about me, I am not the greatest at Blender, so I don't know what any of this means. Alright, forget that idea. I think I'm just gonna... I really don't know. I'm just gonna go and maybe add a bit of focal length to the camera. And so I did, spending the next 15 minutes only on the focal length. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna actually bore you with all of that, but let's just say it was very painful. After that, all I really did was add a few final touches, and then moved on to sound effects to get the final render. Honestly, it doesn't look bad for 30 minutes at all. There would be a few things I would like to touch up on, but besides that, it looks pretty good. Alright, now let's see what everyone else has to offer. Sadly though, JB99 and CyberDragon TV's animation didn't render properly, so it's just me and Doggos for this one. Sorry guys. Anyways, here's his animation next to mine. Now the last step was deciding who won the challenge. I logged on to Discord to ask everyone who they thought won. And I won the challenge. Let's go!
Subscribe now.